So week one, we played against Second Wind. The result of the match was 3-2, but going into the game, my personal expectations were 3-1. I was pretty confident in our play going into that week, despite our limited practice. Realistically, we only had a solid week of practice before that game started. There was just a lot of things going on with everyone moving. A lot of people had tryouts for other teams, just a lot of stuff that was getting in the way. So it definitely interfered with our practice schedule, but nonetheless we were able to go in, close it out, and do what we had to do.
Somehow does pepper in a ton of damage before going it down. This is still anyone's fight. There are still more members of it. Revival on at the point.
Exactly, and now Remix sweep back in here.
Without that defense matrix, it's going to be a lot harder for Second Wind to stay up on it this fight. You're seeing that right now with Remix getting that ticket to Revival's fight.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and as we just blinked, folks, Revival turning everything around. Remix getting on top of Barbie and Shredlock and demolishing the last man standing, the last piece of pork between Revival and a point cap.
I think we played pretty well as a team in that set. There was a few mistakes here and there that we weren't too happy with coming out, but it gave us a good focus on what we needed to work on going into week two. One thing specifically was just the kind of chaos and comms towards the end of fights. There was a few fights in the set that we should have closed out way faster and much cleaner than we actually did, but kind of splitting, and I don't want to say lack of trust, but not really following off of each other, or just kind of the lack of team synergy kind of delayed the close on a few fights. But regardless, I'm happy with the result.
Transcendence has been pulled out from Second Wind, and that's all that Revival needed. Remix himself looking very low for the rest of his team, picking up the slack here. Big grab out from Apply, and that's going to be also a bit unusual, but he's just trying to break that Orisa shield, give Second Wind some kind of opportunity to get onto the point without taking massive damage. Oh no!
Frill thought he was, out of harm's way, but his coattails just a little bit too long. I know how Overwatch loves their pose. Your side, Apply against that graviton. On the other side, is Fire has theirs. Actually, now, upon further reflection, but never mind. Man's going to get 2 kills onto that self-destruct once again. Who needs grabs when you've got to manage it?
Our expectations for week one were pretty high, for the team especially, but for myself, I was really swapping roles to Zarya that I haven't really played since I was in contenders, so I really wanted to prove to people that I can play a hit scan role, and I played pretty well in that game. I was a little rusty, but I was really proud of how the team played, and we ended up closing it out on map 5, so I was pretty happy about that.
See that for the time being. Revival needs to use their ultimates right now because those support ultimates are coming online for Second Wind. If they're Earth Shatter, though, might win things for Second Wind, and Earth Shatter coming the other way. And man, it's his bomb. It's gonna get a quad kill and get the defense. Revival. On some of those checkers, they gotta get their first because Revival knows that they have a little bit more of an advantage for the time at being as we hear that hammer down and no kills come of that. And now, following up that additional damage is Revival pushing people back to spawn. They will keep this point at him to get back onto the point, but is it going to be enough? They do not have many members on it, their team. And Apply finally using that graviton surge once again. That's going to put the nail in the coffin for Second Wind. Revival wins the first.
So week two, we played against XL2. Unfortunately, we did get 4-0'd. Definitely was not the result anyone was expecting going into that. Personally, I did think it was going to go to a map 5, but I was confident that we were going to be able to close it out. I just think that we didn't respond properly to things that we had been well prepared for by our coaching staff. They've been working really hard this week. We had all the tools needed to do what we had to do in that set. We just did not apply them properly as a team at all.
Gonna have another EMP walking through that door right now instead. He's applying the tracer, moving around, looking for any sort of miracle pickup here. OG though, down. Revival continuing to just mow down XL2 on their last leg, and why? Just finishing off, winning the tracer battle, pulse bomb up and ready. That should be it.
Yeah, this is now just clean up, and all of it for Revival from Mangachu, Manitin, Apply, staying alive for so long. KSB picks Paintbrush so early. Now the rest of XL2, they can be aggressive. KSB gets 2.
KSB assisted by the Ana there, already with 2, and this is looking pretty good for XL2. Now the question is, with 3 from KSP, can they just move on to the point interview?
There's no presence. They just still have to own point. Revival has no point presence.
I mean, the S keep working out pretty well there. Mangachu in the skies, finds 1 already, but we need to use EMP soon. It's going to be a 3-on-6, and now the question is, do you use EMP to try to save this? The answer should be no. Revival, off the air power of Mangachu, will get point A.
I think a lot went wrong in the XL2 game. Not only that, but they played very well. They played a lot of comps that we weren't used to, and we didn't really adapt too well. We already knew what they were going to play due to scouting, but we just didn't do a very good job swapping into those comps to counter them during the game, which I definitely think would have helped a lot.
There's the multiple times he could have picked them, just wasn't able to get it, had to be low.
Another opportunity here, but this time Revival, they have the Graviton. They use it early in Remix. They're on the follow through. That's a quick dispatch here for Revival.
But they have grab. There's no support ult for Revival. They have ults to pressure Remix to set up their bomb. They just need to go.
Well, they drop the Graviton, and they do just go. Self-destruct up to the sky from Buds. Looking for it, gets 3! Exactly what the doctor ordered. In XL2, they are going to be finishing this with quite a bit of extra time. There's up, going to drop the Shatter, and they're looking for Remix. Remix on the ground. Are they going to be able to finish him off in time? No, the Nano coming out. Remix has Primal. He gets a leap on in. It doesn't even have to use the Primal. So close yet so far for XL2. Looking for that one magic punch. Already has one. 6 on 5. Set up by the EMP and speedily. Gonna dive on in. Looking for Zara on the other side. Doesn't care about the bubble piece.
So week 3 is against Tea Party. It's going to be a long week this week as we work hard in scrims. We have a lot to work on, and luckily XL2 game in week 2 gave us a kind of a good guide and a good list of things that we need to improve on this week before we go into our game week 3. And both of our coaches have been working very hard this week to make sure that we don't get the same result as week 2.
I don't really have expectations for Tea Party. I really have I just want us to improve a lot. I really want us to go in there and show that we improve from week 2 and that we are learning every day and every week and that we know how to adapt. Week 2 is just like a bump in the road and it happens, and I really want us to show up and show that we're not down in a rut now, that we can come back and do well the rest of the season.
So for anyone that has been following the team, you saw the announcement of Reprise getting picked up to Valiant. First off, I do want to say congratulations. I'm very happy for you. Definitely hate to see you go. I wish you didn't have to leave us. But I'm very proud of you for all the work you've done and everything you've done for us. And I want you to know that we're confident in our ability still, and I'm very happy to be working alongside Curry Shot for the rest of the season. He's a very critical piece in the Mayhem Academy roster last season, and he's going to continue to be a critical piece of this roster moving forward.
So as you all know by now, the Reprise is going to LA Valiant, and I'm extremely proud of him. I've known him since, pretty much almost a year ago, when he pretty much discovered me out of nowhere. I was not even an open, I wasn't even on a team, and he gave me a chance on Mayhem Academy, and he really started my career. And I always knew that he would go far, especially in the recent months. He's working so hard and he's amazing, and not only did he teach me so much as a player, he taught me so much as a person and how to pretty much live on my own. He was almost like a mentor to me, and I'm really happy that he's in Al, and I know he's going to do great. His debut week, he already 2-0, and he beat Vancouver, so I'm really happy for him.